A slight fog and some clouds with a temperature near 64. Tomorrow, a high around 78 and slight fog in the morning and then some clouds. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Ask for special ESPN Northwest Florida pricing.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
It's Thursday. New Hard Rock Bet rewards are dropping.
Nice. Ed Reed, you in?
The only thing I drop is receivers and mics.
Ed, we're talking bonus bets, deposit matches, parlay insurance.
Oh, okay. I'll do that kind of drop.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Got a scratch, dent, or full-blown wreck? Bring it to Recommended Collision Center in Panama City. From small scratches to all-over paint jobs, from fender benders to major collisions, it's Recommended Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and offer customer pay options too. A family-owned collision center that takes pride in top-quality repairs, friendly service, quick drop-offs, and a fast turnaround. So when life throws you a wreck, they'll help you get amended. Recommended Collision Center, 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City.
Get ready to connect. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is proud to welcome and feature the newest additions to our Panama City Beach Chamber family.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber. 30A Lactation, Bayside Resort, a Hilton Vacation Club, Shipwreck Island, new ownership, Thrive Alternative Medicine, and Wells, Rosalie, and Rhea Wealth Management.
Step in, grow, and connect with the community that celebrates your achievements.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601, 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
For the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's a Thursday, and we're pumped up, primed up, and ready to go right here. Don't forget tonight's coverage at 6:30 right after the show. Kickoff is at 7:15. You got the Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. Probably going to be a good one. And if you want to be a part of the show today, you can be. Call in, text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Thanks so much for listening. We're excited about it. As always, on a Thursday, we've got Stone Cold Brian Austin in the house looking all crawfished up. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man.
All right.
It's crawfish season.
It is crawfish season, and you are pumped. And not as always, but we had a little schedule change up, and Tennessee Brandon's in the house. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing good. A little off. Not Wednesday. It is Thursday. I'm excited for Saturday's game. Tennessee plays Florida. Do you know how old I was the last time Tennessee beat Florida in Gainesville?
I would say you were 7.
I was 10, and that was LeBron James' rookie year. So it has been a long time. I'm feeling probably the best I've felt about going down there, and Lord knows how long. So looking forward to breaking the streak, man. So yeah, pretty excited about this weekend.
That is awesome. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about that. And as always, in the glass bubble, we got Jim and Jimmy back from the Caribbean. How you doing, Jimmy?
Enjoying the day, enjoying the life, man. Had a wonderful time while I was gone. I don't know what happened in sports, so you guys can just fill me in.
All right. Well, we got a lot to fill in on, and we're going to fill you in right now with the Texas Longhorns and the Georgia Bulldogs. Brian, we talked about this game. We were excited about this game. We watched this game, and it did not come out the way that you wanted it to.
No.
Tell me what you think the problem was, because it actually was close. It was closer than the score depicts, but it was pretty close. And then the fourth quarter happened, and a lot of stuff happened in the third quarter and into the fourth quarter.
Well, I mean, we couldn't get anything going on offense except for that one drive. And the O-line looked bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia was able to pressure Arch all day, and it looked like kind of old Arch where eyes big. He just didn't have the time to make the throws he wanted to make. So, I don't know. It was rough.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I mean, having a Florida team that is down and I wouldn't say Tennessee is down, but I would say having Tennessee kind of, not looking like they're going to make the playoff unless a miracle.
Taking a slight step back from, potentially where we were last year in the playoffs,
Right.
So if we're holding weight to last year, we've taken a small step back.
Then you got Auburn that's not very good, and then you've got LSU who's not very good. Mm-hmm. You got an A&M team that's pretty good or really good, and you got Bama. They're kind of like, But Georgia is looking like they are hitting their stride the right way.
They are.
And has the Georgia fans taken over for LSU and Florida fans as far as being toxic?
To me, they are by far the most obnoxious fan base there is around here. I mean, I did not, when I lived in Texas, never saw Georgia fans there. It was kind of the Bama fans that were there that people, and since I moved here, it is 100% Georgia fans are. Yeah, no.
Just can't. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, actually Cleveland, Tennessee, 30 miles northeast of Chattanooga. So it's legitimately on the Tennessee-Georgia line. And the amount of Georgia fans that lived in Chattanooga and Cleveland, where I'm from, was just, it was ridiculous. So I grew up around Georgia fans probably as much as I did Tennessee fans growing up. I can attest to that. Pretty obnoxious group of fans, but I'm sure they would say that Texas fans are obnoxious or volunteer fans are obnoxious. Sure. So, no doubt about it. I would definitely put them up there as one of the most obnoxious fans, especially when they're barking at you. It's pretty annoying.
So Stone Cold Brian Austin is the owner and the operator of Lone Star Boil House, and he has a bunch of game day stuff going on. So how did it work? Did you have any of those obnoxious fans over there during the game? What?
Zero. They all stayed on the beat side.
So you scared them all away is what you did.
The Longhorn fans got to watch a game in peace. It didn't end up the way we wanted it to, but at least we didn't have any barkers.
Barking allowed. You need to get you a sign up that says no barking allowed.
Yeah.
So that's funny. Well, tell us what you got going on this week at the shop, and tell us maybe what you got going on this weekend.
Tonight we got crawfish. Live crawfish last night for probably about 2 to 3 weeks for it really kicks off. Tomorrow we have the last night of our honky tonk Friday nights. We got the Adam Biddle Band coming in. It's going to be rocking out Saturday. College football, of course.
Who's the big game on the screen this weekend? Have you decided yet?
Yeah, we're starting out with Mizzou, Oklahoma early, Texas, Arkansas after that, then Florida, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Finish it off. Just leave it on ABC all day long and just let it roll with SEC.
Yeah, and that's usually the way it's going to be.
That's about it, really, this week. I mean, there's not a lot. This is kind of a dead week.
Yeah, there's a couple of games that are going to be playoff indication games, but other than that, it's pretty much a dry season for that. Now, when does crawfish season actually kick off, like when it really starts kicking?
Don't know for sure. It looks like about 3 weeks from now.
About 3 weeks.
Yeah, once that kicks off, it'll be 7 days a week at the boil house.
Really?
Crawfish, yeah.
Oh, wow. And you cook it yourself, right? You know exactly what you're doing.
If I'm off, we're not having crawfish. Like, that's it.
Any man that wears a crawfish hat and people, I don't know if you're watching right now, but go back and look and you can see Brian's got his crawfish hat on. And I mean, if he wears that hat, you know the crawfish is boiling up for sure. And where do you get your crawfish at?
They're coming from Church Point, Louisiana, for the most part. So we have a couple different vendors. They're all coming from Louisiana, though.
And they come in live, right? Oh, yeah. You bring them in live. They're not
every
frozen
other day,
and all that dry, what do they call it? Freeze-dried?
We did the parboiled frozen. We do that in the off season just to get people a little bit of crawfish fix in when they're fiending for some crawfish.
Man, I got a question. Do you keep those Cajun deviled egg or Cajun eggs, boiled eggs on your menu year round?
During crawfish season.
During crawfish
season, when it fully kicks up, always have the eggs on there.
Anybody who's listening, Brian has these amazing Cajun boiled eggs, and of everything that I ate, I promise you, I think that was one of my favorites. I don't know if I just like eggs or whatever, but he seasoned them things.
Paul knows about them.
Perfect. Yeah, we got some and ate. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what he's talking about because I don't think he got but one. I think I got the rest.
But yeah, those things are killer.
Yeah, they are great. So let's talk about it. So you had Arch at 27 for 43, 251 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The one stat that kind of stuck out to me was 5 carries for negative 17 yards. That can't happen.
No.
I mean, really. And it wasn't that it was a bunch of sacks, that they were giving up. It was just like, man, he just... Like you said earlier, it was like he was confused and the front was just not there for the offensive line. Have you heard what Sark has been saying? I mean, obviously, there's been the rumors talking about Tennessee, and then he come out and said that he's not going anywhere. Are the fans kind of like, we went to the playoff last year, we've been doing good in the SEC, but this year, all of the what was supposed to happen has actually not happened. Are they calling for any kind of job? No, nothing like that.
I mean, I can't speak for all Texas fans. I'm not back there, so I don't have the feel for it right now. But I mean, I don't know any of my friends that are saying
anything like that.
I mean, you can't be like Penn State and these teams that expect every single year something's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we just made the Final Four 2 years in a row. Still have a chance to go 9-3. Outside shot at the playoffs, probably not going to happen. But you never know what could happen the last 2 weeks. But build on this and finish off strong, go into next year.
Now, the other stat that was kind of bad was Wisner was 9 carries for 37 yards. And obviously that's the offensive line probably.
No.
So not only could they not pass block, they couldn't run block either.
No.
And that's the biggest problem. And instead of getting and having all these 5-stars that are backup quarterbacks, because you got a couple 5-stars that are on the bench, let's get some 5-star offensive linemen in here and let's figure out how to block people.
100% agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't have them for the recruits, they need to hit the portal. That is the one thing. They did not get a single portal kid on the offensive line last year, and they needed that.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost so much to the NFL last year on the O-line, and they did not address that at all. They just figured these freshmen or whoever was behind the other guys last year were going to step up and be the same, and it just hadn't worked out.
And that's the biggest thing with the portal. When you look at the portal, yes, you can go out and get a quarterback. Yes, you can go out and get a running back or a wide receiver, but you don't ever know how those guys are going to hit. But if you can go get a couple of offensive linemen that can kind of give you the anchor of your offensive line. That seems to be the recipe for success for these teams that do that. They bring in the kids, and then they also have their 5 stars, 4 stars that they already are got in the program. That way they can build on being able to, because if you can't, this is the deal. And it's probably across the board now. I definitely know it's in the Big Ten and it's SEC for sure. If you can't run the football, you're not going to win every game that you play, and you're not going to be in every game that you play. Hence, Alabama can't run the football right now either.
Yeah, so having those linemen, like you said, to anchor the offense, especially for a young, talented Arch Manning, one who's still getting the speed of the game, one who's still potentially learning the playbook that they may not have even opened all the way up for him. And if he's not going to have the protection he needs, being young, I mean, you're not going to build that confidence. I mean, if he gets sacked a couple times in the game, you know, he's going to constantly, whether the pressure's there or not, he's going to be constantly feeling it. I mean, it looks like that Texas asked Arch to do a whole lot. I mean, 43 attempts, you know, only 27 completions of those 43. I mean, they were asking him to do quite a bit. I mean, with only 23 rushing yards, I don't know if they were asking him to do a lot because you were rushing, or if a lot of those attempts come later in the game when you started to get down and you didn't have a choice to air the ball out. But you're right. I mean, going to the portal, recruiting, I know big offensive linemen, especially for a quarterback who needs a little extra time. One split extra second or a second and a half could be all the difference in the world that he could get, you know, a read or at least get the ball away to extend a drive, things of that nature.
9 penalties for 58 yards. I mean, that really the offsides penalty.
Yep.
I mean,
we had held them 5 times in a row before that too.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 and out basically, and then the 1 interception we got off of them. So you just can't make that mistake. You cannot jump off sides on 4th and 5.
No, and that's the thing. Like that's something that happens in high school. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, you got to watch the football. I mean, that's easier said than done. I get it, but man, you got to watch the football. Now, let me ask you this though, guys. We don't think about Gunnar Stockton as Heisman Trophy, but I mean, the dude was 24 for 29. That's 5 incomplete passes. He had 1 pick, so you really ain't got but 4 incomplete passes the whole ball game, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns. He is the prototypical quarterback that you would kind of want, that is not going to really lose you the game. No. But he definitely can get outside the pocket and make things happen. He's not Mr. Elusive, but gosh, he just seems like he gets the job done.
You know, they talk about game managers, and it sounds like almost like a derogatory term when they talk about it in sports. It's like, oh, this guy's a game manager. He's not an athlete. He's just going out there and managing the game. I think game managers are fantastic 100%. Quarterbacks. You know, you are giving your team a chance. You know, he's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be out there running for 100 yards and throwing for 200 or 300. He had 29 rushing yards. I mean, you break that down, how many plays or how many drives did he extend with his legs? He even had a rushing touchdown on top of his 4 throwing touchdowns. I mean, so the guy knows what he's doing. The guy is making plays. It may not, the eye test may not wow you, but you look at the numbers on paper, you look at Georgia's, you know, record, you look at the games they're playing, he's doing what he needs to do.
If you look at quarterbacks in college that are successful, most of the time they don't turn out to be your superstars in the pros. I mean, Josh Allen didn't lead Buffalo to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes was throwing for 1 million yards at Texas Tech, but they never won. No. I mean, they won some ball games, but they didn't win.
You got Johnny Manziel and Tim Tebow. You have all these prolific college quarterbacks.
I mean, look at what Sunshine's doing with the Jaguars. I mean, he's okay. Yeah. Dak was okay. You know, I mean, he does okay. You know, as far as winning championships. You know, and I mean, obviously Patrick Mahomes has won a lot lately, so it's kind of knocked out some of. But I mean, you look at Tua, you look at, you know, like I said, Trevor Lawrence, J.J. McCarthy. I mean,
he's a bust.
See what I'm saying? Like, so those guys that are winning in college don't necessarily always translate. Look at Matt Leinart from back in the day. I mean, he was a star and won the Heisman, all this stuff, and then goes to the pros, and, you know, a couple of years he's in, and that's it. He's out. So really, how I say this without saying it, you almost kind of want a game manager for your quarterback in college, because that's really where it takes you to the championship.
A good cerebral quarterback that makes good decisions, who just knows the game inside and out, and that's really what you need.
Will Howard.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Will Howard last year. So
I mean,
100%.
he could just run the ball whenever they needed 2 or 3 tough yards, and he was a transfer guy, come in from Kansas State and did good, and won the national title.
And really McCarthy too the year before. I mean, he was a game manager. They were so loaded. I mean, they had such a good running game, good everything else. He didn't have to do a lot.
Yeah. No, that
should have
exactly
been a first-round draft pick. But,
no, not at all.
No,
but
he was on a really good team, and he didn't make mistakes. So,
yeah, I mean and you can look at like Jalen Hurts. I mean, he didn't do so well in. I mean, he did great in college, but he never won the championship. Yeah. They brought Tua in to win it and all that kind of stuff, and then now he goes in and he's like your game manager in Philadelphia. Really, I mean, he makes some good throws, but he's got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and Goddard. I mean, he's got the weapons.
That offense was bad last week.
Yeah, yeah, they were.
Oh, yeah.
So, what do you think about the Cowboys? How do you assess what they just did?
Man, it's the Raiders. So, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, how much can you put into it? But I will say we got 5 guys back last week, including Quentin Williams, and that dude is a monster.
He's a stud.
He made a difference. I mean, big time. And then getting Overshown back, too, that's been out all year long.
Yeah.
Malik Hooker came back at safety. The defense actually looked like an NFL defense last week. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked. I don't care who we're playing. Like, we've played some of the worst offenses in football and still giving up 400 yards passing to bum quarterbacks. So, I mean, it's...
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, when Quentin Williams was at Alabama, they called him a 300-pound bar of soap because he was just so slippery and unblockable. And now you're seeing that with the Cowboys. He did the same thing with the Jets. They just had a bad team.
Yeah.
And that's all it was. And so with adding him, the Cowboys, they've got some draft picks because of Micah Parsons. They could be good for the next few years if they can keep Pickens, keep his head.
Keep Pickens. That's the key right there.
And then keep CeeDee Lamb happy, because he's having to. And I get it. It's new. It's good. But, these high-ego guys, they kind of get a little, look at what's going on with A.J. Brown. They're winning ball games, but...
Exactly.
He's upset.
Yeah. I'm wanting to know when CeeDee Lamb is getting upset that, he is now kind of taking a back seat to George Pickens. You got Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is saying that, this is the most spectacular performance I've ever seen by a wide receiver. Like, come on, man. You know how many years you've been coaching, what kind of receivers you've had on your team. I mean, so I know how the receivers can be. I mean, how they act, A.J. Brown, all these other, the prima donna wide receivers. They give me the ball. But I think that's honestly what makes a lot of these wide receivers good wide receivers as well. I think that's a characteristic that you need in a wide receiver. Give me the ball, let's win the game. That's kind of the attitude you need at times.
Does that bother you that he's from Georgia?
Nah.
Not even a little bit.
CD's from Oklahoma. So
I know, that's even worse. That's the problem I have sometimes. I'm just like, man, I want to root for this team, but I don't like him, and I don't like him, and I don't like him.
I let it go when they come to my team. Now, when the Longhorn goes to the Eagles, I no longer will root for them to do anything.
I'm that way when it's Ohio State. I don't care if Ohio State has the best wide receivers, the best quarterbacks, the best whatever. I'm like, are they that good? Are they really? I don't know. So, but either way, Brian, tell us where the Lone Star Bowl House is, and again, go over what you got going on this week. We want to let everybody maybe that wasn't listening earlier.
All right, we're downtown, 320 West 5th Street on the corner of 5th and Beach. Man, football, big time, all weekend long. Sunday, too. So, obviously, college, we open up at 9 o'clock in the morning, breakfast. Giant Bloody Marys now, which are a huge thing over there. Loaded up with seafood. And then Sunday, we'll start off with the Chiefs Colts on the Jumbotron. And then we'll have the Jaguars watch party inside. We now have a big Jags fan base. They've all come out this year. And then Cowboys, Eagles watch party is going to be out on the lawn on the Jumbotron.
I got you. Well, I'm not a Bloody Mary guy. So, but do you really put a whole lobster in the Bloody Mary?
Whole lobster tail, half pound of king crab, 2 snow crab clusters, 3 skewers of shrimp.
Oh my gosh!
Everything. We're going to try to make them bigger and bigger every week.
That's practically buying an entree.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Oh, it's 100%. It's a big seafood boil entree. Plus, you can catch a little buzz off of about 6 or 7 Bloody Marys inside that drink. So.
All right. Well, Brian, it's so good to have you here, and y'all go visit him over at the Lone Star Boil House. And when we come back, we are going to discuss more of this breaking news that just happened before we came on the line. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
On the next episode of Thursday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills are a 5.5-point favorite over the Houston Texans. The Bills are coming off a high-scoring win against the Buccaneers, while the Texans, without quarterback C.J. Stroud, have won 3 of their last 4, primarily due to a top-tier defense. Thursday Night Football coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7:15 on your home for the NFL on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly clear and slightly foggy the rest of the day with a wind out of the south-southwest around 8 miles per hour and 78. Tonight, look for a variety of slight fog and some clouds with a temperature near 64. Tomorrow, a high around 78 and slight fog in the morning and then some clouds. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Falls loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
Join Sean Kelly and the rest of the broadcast team as they bring you Gator football all season long.
Quick race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football. The Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
Tennessee at Florida, Saturday night. Kickoff 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CDC Construction Studios. The Sports Blitz.
Welcome home, baby.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, tonight's the night. Coverage is 6:30, 7:15's kickoff. The Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. Don't forget also, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. I'm not sure if I want to share it right now, but I definitely want to share it, but I think I'm going to hold it off until the first of the top of the hour. We do have some breaking news. I've talked to an insider today that just texted me right before the show, and it's some Lane Kiffin stuff that's going on, and it's going to be curious to see what happens with that. It might be a good thing for Gator fans, or it might be a good thing for them Ole Miss Rebel fans, so we're going to see. But let me just say this. When you look at all of these coaches and all of the coaching carousels that's been going on, we see coach after coach say this, and then do this. I'm wondering, with Lane Kiffin being the biggest troll coach that there ever has been, I'm gonna say this is the craziest. Coach Saban leaving the Dolphins wasn't even close to this. Bill Belichick leaving New England wasn't even close to this.
No.
This is the number one story of the college football season, and we're not even done with it yet.
No, we're not done with it at all.
And
I think it's just kind of beginning.
Yeah,
honestly.
and it's not even dealing with the college football playoff. And it's crazy. People text me during the day and they tell me stuff and they send me stuff. And there's so much chatter going online about it. And it's like people get tired of it, but then they don't, because all we do is talk about it. And we've got to talk about it because there are different little things. I mean, who even heard of hot yoga before this year? Because I never heard of it. Now, Jeffrey's a yoga guy.
He is.
Which is crazy. But I never even knew what hot yoga was until a couple of weeks ago. So...
Yeah, it is an interesting story, and I'm sure some people are probably a little tired of it. But when it's headline news on every major media outlet, it's something to talk about, and talk about being tired of it. How about fans of Ole Miss? How about the players of Ole Miss? They have to listen to this noise consistently. They're on a national championship run, and you've got teams trying to poach your coach from you. What I'm upset about, and as if I was an Ole Miss fan, that Lane hasn't done anything to shut the noise up at all. He's egging it on. He loves it.
Yeah.
Hence the trollness of the situation. He with the posts and the pictures, and he knows if he were to go visit somewhere or look at houses in Gainesville or go tour Baton Rouge. I mean, he knows people know. He knows what he's doing. I just think, if I was an Ole Miss fan, I'm almost, it's like you're on the fence. You're like, hey, this is the first Ole Miss coach that has, taken us to 3 straight 10-win seasons,
Yep.
But then again, you're like, he is toying with us. He is borderline on the fence, 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in the door. So that's something that kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm already a Lane Kiffin hater. So I'm trying to, skate the edge of saying some borderline professional and nice things here about him. But yeah, that's one thing that I would be extremely upset with if I was somebody with the Ole Miss Association.
I absolutely love it, because you've got to know that as a fan, when you know that your team has never been here before and the guy that's taking you might lose him, but you might keep him, and you want to have your run, you want to make the playoff. They want to get to the playoff. They don't care necessarily about next year as much as they care about this year, because they've got lightning in the bottle, like we've talked about with Trinidad Chambers.
Yeah.
And he, with Lacey, like, that is a dynamic duo. That is a recipe to win college football. And when you've got those guys like that, that's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 7T's phone line. We've got Ed on the line. What's going on, Edward?
What's going on, y'all? Who's that handsome man with the Tennessee and revoked by Texas pass?
What's up, man? This Tennessee Brain over here. Ed, what's up, man?
Hey, man, go Bulldogs.
Yes.
Hey, yesterday I wanted to touch back on the topic we were talking about yesterday about the David versus Goliath thing, the 1 seed versus like the 8th seed or whatever. But I'm starting to realize, it's not rocket science, but I'm seeing sports now, the older I've gotten, as business. Making it and selling.
Yeah, well, as well as I do, everybody had said that, Lane's a big troll, so what is he going to do? He's going to sign the contract on the Jumbotron at halftime. And so do you know what that ploy was for? To get people to show up, to get people to spend the money, to get people to be in the seats. And you're exactly right. We're living in a time, it's the most exciting time it's ever been, and we're living in a time that we've never seen before. We're in uncharted territory right now with the way social media is, the NIL is, the way college football is, and then you've got somebody like Lane Kiffin who has basically taken the mantle of being the central focus of this college football season. and he's loving it. I mean, he's on.
Oh, yeah.
He can pick and choose. He could be on the morning show of a news show on national television every single morning if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's like the puppet master of this right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely dangling.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just starting to see it like, and I mean, you know, my eyes are being more open to this, but it's a business. It's all about making money, and that's the behind-the-scenes stuff, and it's kind of taken away from enjoying the games, especially when I watch the NFL and stuff. It's like, okay, 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down, then, hey, we're going to throw a commercial out there in your face. It's like, come on, guys. Let's go through like one quarter without commercials and just go through the whole game. You know what I mean?
Man, they got commercials that play, like, they split the screen in half. They still let you watch the game, and then they'll play, like, a 15, 30-second commercial, like, in between batters or in between, like, the kickoff or punt return, and then, you know, they're getting offense, defense. So, yeah, I agree with you, Ed. There's a lot of too many commercials out there. I agree with that.
You know, and I get it. Everyone's got to eat, and everyone's got to, you know, make a living, but it gets a little exhausting. It's like, am I here just for all the infomercials, all the sell me, or am I, like, what am I really paying for nowadays?
Well, that's exactly right. That's why a lot of people, they will record the game or they'll pause the game and go do a chore or go do something at home, and then they'll come back and watch the game 30 to 45 minutes later and then just fast forward through the commercials so that they don't have to bear all the pain.
Man, my ESPN app would ruin everything. I'd be getting all these updates. I'm like, what, we scored twice? I've only paused it for 15 minutes. Like, so, yeah, that wouldn't work for me, but...
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for letting me call in. We'll haul at y'all next time. All right,
thanks, Ed. Have a good day,
man.
All
right, Ed. Have a good one, buddy.
Peace.
Yes, sir. You know, but he's right. And when we talk about this, when we talk about how important these things are, and then you've got not only just him being a troll, but you've got all these trolls online that they're going to send out fake news, they're going to send out breaking news for likes, for views, for all of this. Yeah, so you got it all. You got it everywhere. It's in your face. You don't know what's true. You don't know if Lane Kiffin is really on a plane going to Baton Rouge tomorrow, or is he going to be in Gainesville the next day. Or is he going to be flying to Miami to be the Miami Dolphins' new head coach when they fired him? Yeah. Or is he going to New York to be the Giants' head coach?
You know, any of that could honestly be possible. And like you said, today's age, it's about clickbait. You know, what can I post? What can I say to get people to view, to click, to listen, to watch? Yeah, I mean, and that's ultimately, you know, about what it is. And you don't know what is the truth. You know, like, for example, we were told or rumored to hear that Lane has an ultimatum to either shut this noise up or to make his decision before the quote-unquote Egg Bowl, the Ole Miss, Mississippi State, you know, in-state rivalry. But then I heard in an interview he said that was, you know, Bologna, and he did hot yoga with his AD, and that things are okay over there. And so you're right. I mean, with the media and everything of that, you don't know. You don't know what's true, what's being said, what's not being said, what's being posted just for, you know, like I said, clickbait. You don't know.
And that's really where everybody has got to keep, you know, a level head and figure out, okay, is this clickbait? Is this real? Is this not? And then you have to look at what are the reliable sources. And that's like with us. I don't say anything that I just all the way believe. I just kind of say what I think is being said and held up. And so, and with that being said, we're going to go to the next caller. What do you think about Kiffin? Give us the rundown on your Kiffin here. Are you there, Arnold?
Yes. What I'm thinking about was last year. I actually told a bunch of people last year that I thought Heifel and Kiffin were both going, because you could look at them on the sideline. Lane Kiffin quit calling the plays, it seemed like. He wasn't excited about being out there. He was just out there as a head coach. Heifel was the same way. You know, he'd get fired up. But last year, nah. I thought, seriously, I even told Ricky, who is a big Tennessee Orange guy, that he was going to the NFL. I thought both of them would be gone into the NFL. But whatever happens, it'll be all right. It's exciting to watch it. Wonder if you're making the right choice or whatever. But anyway, I appreciate y'all letting me talk. Have a great day.
Thanks, Arnold.
Thank you. Appreciate that. When you look at it, though, that's where, because Heupel has been mentioned. There's been times where he's been mentioned.
A lot, actually.
And they had talked about when they were wondering if Oklahoma was going to have to move from Brent Venables, and that was one of the
we've
teams.
already given him an extension literally this year to 2030, and I don't know, I'm a Tennessee fan, and is it my algorithm? I don't know, but I've heard his name a lot here recently, and just to Arnold's point, I know your boy's a big Tennessee fan, so he should have told you that. Heupel gives a lot of just meh emotion at times. Yes, he gets fired up when he needs to be fired up. When we're jumping, he's probably jumping, but typically he is kind of seems like a monotone. I watch all his interviews. He's not a very expressionate guy, so that's typical of him. Now Lane, on the other hand, he's a little more, out there, a little more emotional and showing it as well. So.
Yeah, well, Jeff has jumped on the Facebook app, and he said that Geico got painted on Florida's field today. The Gators need coaching insurance for the next selected coach. So there you go. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that is hilarious if that's the case. But also, is the gecko going to be Florida's new mascot? Have they moved on from
de-evolutionizing, going from a gator to a gecko?
Yeah. So, but either way, that'd be kind of comical.
I love the idea. We can get the businesses in on the NILs. Have all the mascots running around.
Hey, like I said, it's all about money, man. Just bring them in.
That's right. Why not? Why not do it? That sounds really good. But when you talk about it to Gator fans, they want him. When you talk to Ole Miss fans, they want him. And then you look at the LSU fans, and they are secretly wanting him as well.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder if the buy is going to be so big. Like, what's the expectation, though? So if he goes to Florida and he doesn't bring a national championship within 4 years, I mean, are we talking success? Are we talking failure as long as he makes the playoff?
I'd personally be thinking, 3 straight 10-win seasons at Ole Miss. I mean, they're going to be thinking, come in here, we want 10, at least a 10-win season, to start with. If you were able to do that at Ole Miss, we expect that's as a standard, at least 10 wins a year here at, in Gainesville or LSU, because wherever he goes, the expectation is higher.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. They're paying you more money. You allegedly have more resources. You've got, higher talent, so they say, which me personally, I think the playing field's leveling out. A lot of us, people who've been watching sports for 20, 30, 40 years, we know it one way, and that way is quickly changing with the dynamic of college sports in general. Yeah. So I don't know how much weight that the old time still holds in general, but nonetheless, the expectation from fan bases, from donors, from administration, it gets higher no matter where he goes.
Everything that's been going on with this, if Florida signs Lane Kiffin, and we're going to talk big time tomorrow, we got Hobzilla coming in tomorrow talking about this, but if they hire Lane Kiffin and he's wearing the blue and orange next year on that sideline, the expectation of winning the SEC, if not winning the SEC, at least making the playoff, is a must.
Yeah, it is a must. I think it's playoff. The fan base in general will be playoff or bust, and that's going to be the expectation wherever he goes.
And it has to be, right? Because you're paying for wins. I mean, that's what you're paying a coach. You're not paying a coach. Okay, so let me get this out of the air just so everybody can understand. If they are just paying you to raise up good young men to go get a degree, probably 90% of the coaches would not get fired.
Yeah, agreed.
They are paying college coaches to win football games. That is it. You know what? All the stuff that happened with Urban Meyer, if you ask true blue Florida fans, I guarantee you they would say, let's run it again. Because why? Because they won. Because they were in the conversation. It is about winning and losing football games. It is not about getting a degree. It is not about raising a charactered young man. It is about wins and losses, and can you get to that college football playoff?
I mean, we've seen that more than ever this year. Brian Kelly, winning record, previously really good, got fired. James Franklin averaged 11 wins for the last however many years. First year that he, got 3 or 4 losses. They say out of here. Dabo Swinney has created a quote unquote like dynasty in that Clemson area over the last 10, 15 areas. His name's been on the hot seat. He's had one bad year. And it's like you are paying these coaches to win football games, and the patience for it is slim to none. Like you said, these coaches are there for a decade, winning seasons. They're putting their marbles in the jar, but it's like as soon as they have a 3-loss season, it's like the administration, they don't the trust. It's like it's not there. So the patience is
we
too thin.
Want a winner, and that's all we care about.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody can say what they want, but that's not the truth. It is winning and winning alone. And you know what else winning does? It kind of moves stuff that happens in the program outside too. Winning
quiets a lot of things. it heals a lot. It does.
It does.
Amen to that.
But either way, we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction. Be part of a winning team.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Ask for special ESPN Northwest Florida pricing.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results. Here's MaxFit Sports Nutrition owner Jason Kovaleski.
So if you're looking to advertise, or if you have a small business and you're looking to drive traffic to your store, check out ESPN 104.3 with Coach James Hale Show. I've been working with them for 7 years. They've driven a lot of traffic to my business. I get people all the time in my store that say, hey, I've heard you're on the radio. It's one thing to advertise on the radio where people may hear it. It's another thing to be able to come on, talk to your customers directly. It's just one of the best form of advertising I did, and I've gotten great returns off of it. So if you're looking for some form of advertisement to drive traffic, check out Coach Hale Show on ESPN. Contact Coach Hale, and he'll hook you up and get you started in the right direction and get you a lot more business.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida. 850-215-4468. 850-215-4468.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. The phone lines are open, the opinions are flowing, and the arguments are just getting started.
You cannot give LSU extra opportunities. With just one loss, they can sneak in there.
They're playing championship football.
The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson is back, and we're putting you in the game.
He has not turned the ball over.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back. We're live and local right here in the CBC Construction Studio, and we're fired up. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 17's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're on a Thursday. I got Tennessee Brandon in the house. Jim and Jimmy's hitting the ones and the twos, and we're excited. Brandon, we got to talk about the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, we're in a state to where last year they were looking at a playoff run. They were having momentum at this time last year. This year is not so much. They've got the transfer quarterback in. He's had a great year as far as what most people would say. He leads the SEC in passing. Yep. He's been consistent all year. Now, obviously, he's not been perfect, but no quarterback's perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. No. But when you look at this team and you see what they did last week, what do you say to your team? Obviously they smoked them. They scored 42 points, and I get it. I get who it was against. Yeah. But you got to keep them energized. You got to keep them ready. We're in a different world now. If you don't make the playoff, used to for Alabama, it was get to the national championship, win a national championship, or our season was a bad year. Yeah. Now we've got good teams, and I would consider Tennessee a good football team, that it doesn't look like they're going to make the playoff unless some crazy chaos happens. Which it'd have to be like all the stars would have to align and make it happen. Yeah. How do you keep your team together? How do you keep your team positive? And how do you go out and still have pride when the NIL is kind of taking away people going to schools for pride? Because you got Boo Carter, who just left the team. Tell us what happened with that, because I've heard conflicting stories. Boo Carter came out and said one thing. Tennessee coaches and the administration said another thing. Yeah, what really happened?
Heupel doesn't. I watched a couple of the interviews. Heupel doesn't really like talking about it. You can kind of tell he's a little fed up with the whole situation. Allegedly Boo Carter didn't show up to the New Mexico State game. Obviously, preseason, troubles, and we gave him a different opportunity. And, long story short, we ended up dismissing him from the team. He says he left. Tennessee says that they dismissed him. He says that he was hurt. Heupel stepped around that question when asked by reporters, hey, Boo says he was hurt and blah, blah, blah. Was he? Only thing Heupel could say is, that isn't true according to my training staff. There was no reason for him to say that his training staff knew of. Rumor is that he's going to be going to Colorado. It's, good luck to him, just like all the other transfers. But we've had problems out of him. I'm sure he's probably more of a distraction than he was a help during the year. Great talent. You just got to want to you got to want to play football, and you got to want to play football where you're at. And he didn't want to play football at the University of Tennessee. So.
And do you think that has something to do? Because if you were going to the playoff, if you were in the hunt for the playoff, everybody's on board, everybody's ready to go. We talk about winning. We just talked about that in the last segment, about how winning covers a lot of stuff that you don't love or that you don't like or that you don't agree with. Maybe you're not getting the playing time you want, but you're winning, and you're going to get the opportunity if you go play in the playoff to show what you can do on the national stage. So do you think that plays into this whole thing with the way people view staying with teams that aren't really going to go to the next level, talking about playoffs?
It would. I guess it would really speak a lot of volume depending on where he goes next. If he goes to Colorado, it wasn't about winning. It was about fit. It was about playing time. It was about how he was coached. It was about what he could get away with and not get away with. That's what I think it's about. Now, if you transfer to a team that is in contention or will potentially be in contention, then yeah, I understand. Then maybe it was about winning and where you're at and things of that nature. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it was, but just with the underlying circumstances, I don't think it was the situation that, we were in, having 3 losses, not being in contention. I think he just wasn't a fit for the team. I believe he may have had, some disgruntled players with maybe what he was able to get away with and do, and coaches had to squash that, just the attitude, the commitment, the want to be at the university and play for the university wasn't apparent. And, there are standards to playing football at the University of Tennessee, just like there are and should be at any university, and he did not meet those.
Well, and we've got people talking about it on Facebook here, and when you have a bad attitude, and when you make it all about you, but are we creating that? That's the other question. Yeah. With all of this money, these kids aren't just going to school for a free education, having their books and their meals paid for, having free lodging. Now they're having all of that, plus they're getting paid money, and to be on this team now, all of these kids don't know how to handle that, and then they've been propped up with this cash, and it's just like...
Yeah, I mean, I'll never fault a young man, for doing what's best for him. But, I mean, you're talking... Boo Carter went to a high school in my county in Tennessee. I was around the area, when when I knew about that. And he transferred his senior year to a school from another school to a better football team. Mm-hmm. To a state contender football team, Bradley Central High School. And that's where he played his senior year, and that's where he got noticed, and that's where he got recruited from. So I know that Boo has moved himself prior to put himself in better positions, and I'll never fault anybody from that. But he has jumped ship before. When he run into something he didn't like, he went somewhere else. So, I mean, this isn't the first time, so... I'd like to say it is what it is. I mean, if the young man doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to play. Go find somewhere you do want to play.
Do you think we'll see him somewhere else? Do you think somebody will give him a shot? He's that talented.
He's that talented. I mean, he was freshman of the year last year, and he was very productive on the field this year. He is a freak athlete. He is a ball player. Some other team will give him a chance, and like I said, he'll be really good for him if, he decides that he wants to play for your team. If he can change his mindset, he'll be really good. You also asked me, how we stay motivated. Well, what'd you tell me that we pay coaches to do?
Win games.
Win games. So that's what I'm going to put on Heupel. He has got to be the motivator, whether it be hey, we haven't won in Gainesville in 20-something years. You guys are going to set your legacy. You'll be the team that breaks that, whatever that is, or whether they are playing for their futures, whether it be future draft pick, whether it's their NIL deal next year, whether it's, hey, do you want to remain on this team and be competitive next year, or you want to try your chance in a portal? You've got to find your motivators wherever you can find them. I mean, 3 losses isn't the make or break it. Yes, we're not in playoff contention, but this is exactly where everybody said we were going to be. We've played 3 playoff teams, 3 teams that will undoubtedly, in my opinion, will make the playoffs: Oklahoma, Georgia, and Alabama. 2 of them that one of them we should have won. 2 of them we were in it for a little bit, and just our defense is a little porous this year. I mean, our NIL money, especially on our defensive side, I would like to think we put probably 5 to 10% of our NIL defensive money into 2 cornerbacks who haven't played a lick of downs this year.
Yeah, that's true.
And then getting rid of, then having another cornerback get hurt, and then losing Boo Carter, or him just deciding he doesn't want to play. I mean, there's 4 perennial defensive players in our backfield that we just don't have. I mean, New Mexico State threw for 313 on us. I mean, we were up 14-0 in the first quarter. There's no reason New Mexico State should be throwing for over 300 yards against the University of Tennessee. There's no way. So, I believe our offense has taken a step up from last year, but I think our defense has taken about 3 steps backwards. So, are we better offensively? I do believe so. I believe, Joey Aguilar runs that offense better than Nico ever did, and wish he could. But our defense has just, they haven't showed up this year. They haven't played like we expected them to, especially with the injuries.
That's one thing that Josh Heupel has been able to do, is he's been able to bring the recruits in. And I mean, if you look at this team, last year's team was really talented. This year's team coming in was really talented. You had the disruption with the whole Nico thing. that you thought kind of would maybe mess it up. And then Joey came in, and for those first few games, he seemed like the part. And but it's been that defense all year long.
It's been
not being able to stop people when you needed to, and then not being able to get the ones on the field that you needed to have on the field that you're paying.
Yeah.
And that's really the biggest thing when you look at Tennessee this year. That's what you could attribute it to. And again, you can't make the playoffs every year necessarily, but you can. If you add 4 more teams. Because we're in that situation right now. You made a great point. You said Josh Heupel's got to keep his kids up. But what are they fighting for? Because just to go across and say, hey, you got to beat Florida because you hadn't beaten them in 20 years. Don't you want to be the team that beat Florida? That helps you for, if you want to have a job in Knoxville one day, you can say I was on that team, or you can be, on some kind of TV show, or you can get some paid to do a commercial for a car dealer in the area. I mean, it's going to be a really tough sell when you're not in the playoffs. And these kids want to be in the playoff. I think college football is going to go to that, though. They have to. Because you got all these big teams that they don't, like, what's Texas playing for? When they play A&M, what are they going to be playing for? Oh, we beat A&M this year. Okay, but they're still going to the SEC championship and they're going to the playoff. Oh, we beat Florida. Well, they're still going to get Lane Kiffin, so who cares?
They can have them.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but I know I totally get that. It's just finding the motivators. That's why we pay them the big bucks. So, I mean, just finding a way to get these kids to go out there and play every single Saturday, whether we're in it or not in it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. We're going to have to take our break, but at 5:20 today, we are going to be talking to Coach Tommy Joe Whidden and the Mosley football team.
Okay.
They're on their way to Daytona. We're going to actually go live with them the bus.
Let's go.
So we're going to hopefully hear some of the kids, talk to some of them, talk to the coach, and see what's going on with them.
Let's go.
You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. We'll be right back.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
On the next episode of Thursday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills are a 5.5-point favorite over the Houston Texans. The Bills are coming off a high-scoring win against the Buccaneers, while the Texans, without quarterback C.J. Stroud, have won 3 of their last 4, primarily due to a top-tier defense. Thursday Night Football coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7:15 on your home for the NFL on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly clear and slightly foggy the rest of the day with a wind out of the south-southwest around 8 miles per hour and 78. Tonight, look for a variety of slight fog and some clouds with a temperature near 64. Tomorrow, a high around 78 and slight fog in the morning and then some clouds. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Mothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish, Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597. That's 850-896-6597. And online, wheelhousedba.com.
WVLQ St. Joe, WGSX. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Falls loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
Join
Join Sean Kelly and the rest of the broadcast team as they bring you Gator football all season long.
Foot race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Gators!
On your home for Florida football, the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
Tennessee at Florida, Saturday night. Kickoff 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. The new Sports Blitz.
Oh, yes!
Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's 5 o'clock on Thursday, and you're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you decided to listen and to be a part of today's show. Man, we are one day away from Friday, and it is almost upon us. The weekend, baby, is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm looking for. But either way, you can be a part of the show, 850-215-6290. I've got Tennessee Brandon here. I've got Jimmy running the ones and the twos. And don't forget, tonight after the show, 6:30 coverage. Kickoff is at 7:15. Buffalo at Houston. That's going to be a tough one. Right before I came online today, I got a text message from an insider that I trust.
Okay.
And it was told to me that Lane Kiffin and Carter, which is the athletic director, is expected to meet tomorrow. The subject is unknown, but we can upguess what the subject is. And it is reported that Summerall did have a meeting, but the meeting was canceled with Florida, and then he removed his name from contention. So I'm just going to tell you that supposedly from this trusted source that I do have, and I trust him, I don't think he would tell me stuff just to get, clicks, because I'm not even mentioning who he writes for, who he reports for. Yeah. But he messaged me today right before the show, and he said that the talk is that Lane Kiffin is meeting with the AD to discuss We All Know.
Yeah, and I've heard that Ole Miss and I don't have any trusted sources on Ole Miss, but just stuff that I'm reading, that they have given him, an offer comparable, if not, right at what LSU and Florida would be offering. So, I mean, right now it's not the money, and I don't know if it's legacy, whether it's ego, whether it's just you just want all eyes on you. I'm not sure, but I have heard that Ole Miss, has offered him, relatively what these other schools would be offering him. So be interested to see what that meeting is about.
To me, he's already taken them as far as they've ever been.
Yeah.
So really nothing else but to win a national championship. I think this meeting, this is going to be one of those things where this is my opinion and this is my opinion alone. I think this meeting is to navigate what this year is going to look like. I believe they already know because he hasn't said nothing about it.
He's not shut it up.
He's not shut it up. He's not said anything. Now, it could be a total flip the table. He signs an extension. He's staying at Ole Miss, whatever. I don't believe that's going to happen. But I'm just saying, I think what they're going to do and what they're going to be talking about tomorrow, again, my source told me they were meeting. My source did not tell me what they were meeting about. I think this meeting is about how do we navigate. We love you. We're going to keep the offer on the table. You can do what you want to do, but let's talk about what this season is going to look like. When are you, how long are you staying? How long, because at the end of the day, all of the cards are in Lane Kiffin's hands. He can do what he wants. He could say and pull the plug right now if he wants to and move and get on the recruiting trail and start. I mean, he could totally do that, whether that's LSU, whether that's Florida or whatever. And so he's got all of the power, the leverage, all of that right now. So it doesn't surprise me that Ole Miss is coming out and is going to say, hey, let's get together. Let's figure out what's going to happen. And, for me, because he's done so much for the university already as far as getting them into a position to make the playoff.
Yeah.
So with that being said, they're in this motto of, hey, let's see what happens. And then, if you decide to leave, that's fine. If you don't, then great, we'll continue to build here. But I mean, you can't blame Ole Miss for saying, hey, let's get together and at least talk about it.
No, out of respect. I mean, like I said earlier in the show, I mean, the disrespect I would feel as a player and as a fan with him not coming out and saying, hey, it's this way or that way, and you're kind of keeping us on, limbo. They're excited, man. They're getting ready to go to the playoffs. They have a legitimate shot. I mean, just as well as any of the other 12 teams to go win a national championship. And their coach has 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in and has not said anything.
I wouldn't love it. I would not love it as a fan of my team. However, it's not necessarily that I wouldn't. I would love the fact that we have a chance to win a national title. I would love the chance to go to the playoff, especially if we've never been there before.
Yeah.
So when you talk about all of this, there's a mix of emotion. Let's just be honest. Is Ole Miss, going to be a stalwart in college football for the next 10 years? Are they going to turn into what Georgia is? Are they going to turn into what Alabama is? The answer is no. And with that being said, you kind of got to take what you can get. And Ole Miss can just be a good football team, and they can find themselves a good coach that comes in and makes them respectable. But I just wonder if, with all of this being said, what is going to happen when this meeting happens tomorrow?
Well, how far are they going to let him go? My thing is does Lane even know? I mean, I'm not even sure that he knows what direction he wants to go, but when he decides, if he does decide to leave and he informs the institution, how far do they let him coach?
Yeah.
How far does he get to coach in the playoffs? I mean, he literally led them to to the 10-1 season. He's led them that far. Are you just going to chalk up your playoff run and your national championship run because he decided to go elsewhere? I mean, that is a very touchy subject. I mean, how far you can continue to let him go if he decides to leave.
Yeah, and that's why I think they got to talk about it to figure out what they're going to do. We're going to go to the red. Nope, we got somebody. Nope, he lost them. All right, well, either way.
Call us back, Doug.
Yeah, that's right. Get on here.
No, if he leaves, I mean, taking recruits, I mean, he's still around all these players. How many of these players hey, I'm going to go play, for LSU or for Florida? He's going, if he leaves, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Paul? Does Ole Miss get set back? Do they go back to the Ole Miss prior to Lane Kiffin? I mean, how far did Lane Kiffin actually get them ahead and get them to the forefront?
Oh, he got them up.
Okay.
I mean, he definitely pushed them up. Could they take a step back? Yes, but that could be 1 or 2 more losses. They could be right there with Tennessee. They could be right there with, Missouri in that area of this year's type teams. But don't forget, John Summerall's right around the corner, and he would probably be the guy that goes in there next. That would be my guess.
That's the Tulane coach,
That's
correct?
the Tulane coach, yeah. So he would probably be the one. I think he's got ties there. I think he coached there. So there you go. That would be the perfect fit. Step right in. Boom. He's one of the hot coaches right now anyway.
Yeah, he's one of those.
You wouldn't necessarily lose out.
Up-and-comers, kind of still real fiery, to prove. He's not a proven, established, Power 4 coach. So he's going to come in hungry with stuff to prove. I mean, that would be, a coach that I would want in my program as well.
Yeah. So let's look at it. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to look at the way these championship games and the rankings are looking like right now. So I've got the projections pretty much of what could happen, what can happen, and how it would happen if this team or that team were to get in. But let's look at the Big 12 real quick. When you've got Texas Tech and BYU, there's an 80% chance that Texas Tech and BYU are going to play for that conference championship.
Yeah.
So you're going to get one of those in. The only way that Utah could get in is if Texas Tech beats West Virginia and then Utah wins out and then BYU loses out. And that's just probably impossible.
Pretty far-fetched.
Yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. And then the other one is the ACC championship. Now, with that one, it's a little bit clouded, but it's not too bad. You got a 47% chance that Georgia Tech and Virginia are going to play as long as Georgia Tech beats Pitt and UVA beats Va-Tech, which is not hard to do. Now, if SMU wins out, Pitt's beat Georgia Tech, and then Virginia beats Va-Tech, then you got an SMU and a Virginia Tech. And a Virginia. Now, this is where it kind of gets a little bit crazy, and I just don't think this is going to happen. Georgia Tech beats Pitt, and then SMU wins out, and then Virginia Tech beats Virginia. Then you're going to have Georgia Tech play an SMU. So that would be the only way. And there's like a 4% chance that Pitt could actually get in and play against SMU, but a lot of different stuff has to happen.
Yeah,
so, which is not
a little wild.
So, and then you go to the Big Ten, you got a 70% chance that Ohio State and Indiana. Now, I know next week is going to be rivalry week.
Yeah, wait for that Michigan-Ohio State game. Just wait. I'm telling you, everybody's counted Michigan out the last 4 years, and they have won every single year. Just look out for that game.
If Michigan wins out, let me say that again. If Michigan wins out and Indiana beats Purdue, they'll play Indiana in the conference championship.
And Ohio State will get, an easy playoff run. They'll play first, second, third round, and, they'll be right where they were last year.
Wow. So, not to ask you to pick a game, but is that a possibility to you? Because right now that's a 26.8% chance that Michigan wins out and Indiana beats Purdue, which Indiana's going to beat Purdue.
Yeah, Indiana's going to crush Purdue by like 35.
So, I mean,
they're 0-8.
The only other option is like a 4% chance that Indiana beats wins out, and then Rutgers beats Ohio State, and then Oregon wins out. That would be the only way Oregon could get in, is that if Ohio State somehow, some way loses to Rutgers, which if that would be the greatest, that would have to be the best thing in the world for, everybody else, is if Ohio State loses to Rutgers.
Yeah, that's not happening either. So let's not put too much time into that one. I was sitting here looking at this. I'm looking at the rankings. Points against Ohio State has only given up 75 points all year. They're the only team that I can see in any other conference that has given up less than 100 points all year. And that's just absolutely insane. That also attests to the strength of schedule of the Big Ten as well. And that's like a big reason why a lot of people in the SEC were really, really upset to get 9 games. Our strength of schedule was already way better and way more tougher than the Big Ten. Then you add a 9th SEC game. Their strength of schedule on average was like in the 30s. SEC's on average was 10. That was, I think, last year's numbers, and then you're adding another SEC game. Our strength of schedule on average is going to be 7. So it was just, their strength of schedule up there. I wouldn't put a whole lot of weight into that, but that more than likely they're going to crush Purdue. It's going to be probably Indiana and Ohio State in the conference championship.
The Big Ten. The problem that I have with the Big Ten and the things that the Big Ten fans have to say is because they always go with what happens in the playoffs. They always talk about, this team is not good. They talk about how Ohio State beat Tennessee last year. But what they are not understanding, the whole thing that we as SEC fans and we believe that the SEC is better is that week in, week out, the athletes that you have to play against. Because, you know what? We can look at it even right now. You can go online and look at who has the talent of 2026. You've got South Carolina is in there. You got A&M that's in there. You got Alabama. You've got Georgia. You've got Texas. You've got Tennessee. You've got Florida. You've got LSU. All of those teams are getting the 5 stars. Right now, as we sit, Alabama's got 3 5 stars. Texas has got 3 5 stars. Georgia's got 2. Tennessee's got 2. LSU's got 2. You know how many Ohio State has? 1. You know how many Michigan has? 2. Washington's got one. And I know that parity is happening. They're starting to have a lot more of these stars going to other teams.
Oh, yeah.
Look at what Texas Tech has been able to do. Look at what Indiana's doing with, bringing in those players that he's coaching them up. But the thing is that if you play, yes, you want to look at the records. Florida's not been that good this year. But look at how they played this team compared to this team. There's matchups in the SEC that's totally different. The Big Ten, they're top-heavy. They've always been top-heavy. They've got 3 or 4 good teams, and the rest are, not very good. Big 12 at the best. And really, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about that. Now, let me ask you this. When we talk about the SEC, right now, who do you think has the highest percentage as far as the projections? Now, these are projections based off of what they think is going to happen. What 2 teams do you think should have the highest projections to be playing in the SEC championship right now?
I mean, I would assume it's Texas A&M and Georgia would be my assumptions, leading and being at the top of the SEC. But, I don't necessarily know. You've got Ole Miss with 1 loss. You've got Alabama with 1 loss. I'd have to honestly pull up, the last 2 games of each of these and just kind of see. But, I mean, let me see here.
But hold on. Let me just tell you this.
Go ahead.
So you said Texas A&M and Georgia is your first inclination at right now.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia's
They've got 1 loss, and it was to Alabama.
And they don't play another SEC game the rest of the year, so they're kind of locked in. So unless somebody takes it from them, then they're
Alabama's got 1 loss in the SEC, and they've got the tiebreaker over Georgia right now because of head-to-head. All right? But 19.1% chance that Georgia plays A&M in the SEC championship. Is that surprising to you?
With the tiebreaker, without that Alabama has over them, can you tell me who does Alabama play their last 2 games?
They've got a cupcake this weekend,
and
then Auburn.
Are they thinking that y'all are going to chalk up that game against Auburn? A 20% chance of chalking up that game against Auburn? Is that what they're saying?
They're saying yes. I guess so.
That's what it is. Because if y'all take care of business, y'all are in.
We're in.
But they're giving Georgia a 20% chance, which means y'all have a 20% chance to lose. They're thinking you might lose Auburn.
So there's a 33.7% chance that Alabama plays Texas A&M in the championship, in the SEC championship. 33.7. And I will tell you, that is second of what the playoff predictions are. The number one, 36.4%, Alabama and Georgia.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That is surprising.
Because they're thinking that Texas is going to beat A&M because that's the last game of the season for those guys as well.
Now, where would y'all hold a tiebreaker over A&M or, these? Where does that go? If y'all don't have the head-to-head, where's the next metric?
If we lose to Auburn, we're out.
Yes. Let's say y'all take care of business.
As long as we win against Auburn, we're in regardless. There's nothing else. You beat Auburn, you're in, period. You're in the SEC championship because Georgia doesn't play anybody else and Alabama doesn't play anybody else. So we're not really going against A&M.
So if A&M loses to Texas, you and
Georgia,
you and A&M both have one conference loss.
Correct? We have one conference loss, but then it goes into something else, and Georgia has the over on A&M. So then you'd have an Alabama-Georgia rematch.
That's what I have a problem with as far as the committees not making the metrics clear to the fans and the decision-making. Obviously, I mean, because, you would think, obviously, head-to-head and in a lot of the AP poll and the CFP, it abides by what we think as far as head-to-head. But then you go to the Notre Dame, Miami. I heard y'all talk about it yesterday. I've heard it, across a couple of other podcasts. And it's just like that one doesn't hold any weight. And it's like where – and the fact that the committee is basically saying that Notre Dame's losses were better than Miami's losses. So Yeah, I mean, what happened to their wins are better than their wins. You know, so the fact that the metrics aren't clear to, I think, fans, I think is very disturbing. And Lynott is, trustworthy or honorable. It's a little weird to me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you this. We're going to table it for the moment because when we come back from the break, we're going to be on the phone line with Tommy Joe Whidden, the coach of the Mosley Dolphins, and they are going to Daytona right now. They're going to be on the bus, and we're probably going to get to hear some of these kids screaming and hollering. So I'm excited about it. You don't want to miss it when we come back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 7T Studio Line. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more college football games than ever before.
He did what?
Live NFL and college football play here.
Unbelievable!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Thursday. For tonight, a mixture of slight fog and partly cloudy skies and a low of 63 with very little wind. Tomorrow morning, slight fog and some clouds with temps around 74. In the afternoon and evening, partly cloudy with a gentle breeze and a temperature near 76. Moving into Saturday, about the same with a high of 77 and mostly sunny. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
Now is a great time for a new Toyota, where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash. Visit our lot or browse online at Panama City Toyota.
Offers expire December 1st. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com for details.
The Kings of the Swamp.
Falls loose at the 38. Gators got it. Wow.
Join Sean Kelly and the rest of the broadcast team as they bring you Gator football all season long.
Foot race down the near sideline. 20, 15, 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Gators.
On your home for Florida football, the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
Tennessee at Florida, Saturday night. Kickoff 6:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're live and local right here in the CBC Construction Studio in beautiful Panama City Beach, Florida. We're so glad that you decided to join us. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Also, don't forget, tonight after the show, coverage starts at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7:15. The Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans right here on 104.3 ESPN. I'm excited because we have Coach Tommy Joe Whidden on the phone line, and they're headed to Daytona to play in round number 2 of the Florida High School State Football Championship. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing great.
So you know, here you are. We're round 2, and you guys a little bit out of your comfort zone of normality for practice this week. And I know that I saw where you had went over to Publix, took them over there, let them practice on the turf. How did that go?
No, I thought it was really good going out there. You know, we'd noticed from our preparation that we'd seen the turf field, some guys slipping, footing not that great. So we went out there, let the guys get out there on the turf, get used to it, move around. You know, most kids got a couple of different pair of cleats, so kind of figure out which ones they like the best. And also too, anytime you can do something a little bit different, you know, a little bit different scenery for practice, the kids were fired up to get out there, something new, something different. So I thought we had 2 really good days out there at the public sports Blitz.
So take us through this week's practice schedule as far as how you had to change it up a little bit compared to normal, normal week prep.
I mean, everything. I mean, everything has been the same this week outside of just going out to Publix and let the kids get used to moving around on the turf. I mean, it is. This week is our 16th week of practicing in full pads. So, you're definitely battling just the monotony of practice. So anytime you can change things up a little bit different and have something from a different perspective, I think it's always good for the kids. And like I said, they responded to it really well.
This is kind of like giving them the opportunity to see what it feels like to be, playing, whether it's major college football or not, but traveling, it's exciting. And, you've done it a lot. I've done it. And it's a really a cool thing for them to get to do. But what's been the message as far as with all of this, because obviously I know you've had to have a lot of meetings and talk and tell them, to prepare their minds because of, with them being going and it's, you don't want the moment to be overwhelming to them. You want them to realize that, hey, even though we're in a different place, even though we're somewhere foreign that we've never been before, it's still the same game. We're still playing with a football. We still got to tackle. We still got to do the things. What's your message to your team so far?
Yeah, no, you can definitely tell the guys this morning. Just we practiced at 7 this morning, and as soon as practice was over, just kind of getting closer to making this trip. There's a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, and just making sure that we're conserving our energy. We understand, while it's exciting to be playing the second round, making this trip, let's not lose sight of what the mission is, what the trip's all about, and obviously today hasn't been that bad. We're used to travel, obviously not this far, but just the routine of traveling. To me, the difficult day is going to be tomorrow, just being at the hotel, obviously not having the routine of going to school. There's going to be a lot of time that we have to kill and, not getting distracted by that, not getting worked up. And, when we got time to rest, let's make sure we're resting. And when we got times for meetings, let's make sure we're taking advantage of that time. And so that's definitely been the message, but we've got a mature group of guys that I feel that I'm confident that they're going to respond well to this trip and definitely going to be excited to play tomorrow night.
I know that you're a student of the game just by the talks that we've had on air and off air. Have you, when you studied the film of this Mainland Buccaneer team, obviously they're talented, they're fast, the good running game, quarterback, good, gets the ball to the people. Their defense loves to, they believe in one-on-one, they believe in man coverage. Do you feel like, are you feeling very confident in the fact that you can understand a winning game plan for your guys?
Oh yeah, we definitely have confidence in our game plan. We definitely feel like we got some favorable matchups out there, but the biggest thing for both teams is being able to execute. We expect it to be a 4-quarter ball game, but not only just execute, but being able to execute critical moments of the game. I think, and especially in our region, I think all the teams for the most part are pretty even, and I think you can kind of see that from the scores from last weekend. And we expect it to be a 4-quarter game, but it always comes down to execution. Obviously, turnover margin's always big in every game, and the team that especially in the critical moments doesn't turn the ball over, create some explosive plays, is going to be the team that comes out on top.
Let me ask you this, just something that's kind of a little bit off the wall, but in these type of games, they really do matter. What kind of kicker does Mainland have? Are they going to be going for two a lot, or do they kick the field goal normally?
Well, I mean, they're going to start out kicking extra points. Their kicker has definitely missed his fair share of extra points on the year. You know, obviously, over the past couple of weeks, I think you've seen that we've had our fair share of missed extra points as well. Obviously, it's been addressed. We've worked it this week, and you know, I think in a tight ball game, we've been harping on. We got to make sure anytime we have a chance to get our points that we walk off the field with all of our available points, and you know, our extra point block, and we got to put pressure on their kicker and make him feel us coming off the edge to you know, talk him into missing one. So points are definitely going to be at a premium, and you know, obviously, you miss one, you're going to have to put yourself in a situation where you're having to go for two. And, I imagine neither team wants to be in that situation, but it's definitely going to be a factor in the game.
Yeah, and on defense, as far as what you see, do you feel like that it's going to be business as usual for you guys, or are you going to make – obviously you make in-game changes, but – do you feel really confident about the way you match up with them as far as size, as far as speed, and then what you like to do as far as getting them in third down and long and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got players. You know, on the defense side of the ball, the front seven, they got two Division I middle linebackers. They've done a great job this year at stopping the run, and so you know, we got to make some plays, you know, outside of our receivers, but we're definitely going to have to be able to run the football, and we're going to have to be physical in the run blocking game. We're going to have to be efficient with our runs, and excuse me, same thing on the other side of the ball. They got an elusive running back that's a great jump cutter, and he gets out in the open space. He can take it to the house. It's imperative that we're going to have great run fits and keep him corralled and limit their explosive plays. They're a good team, and they're going to make some plays, but we definitely got to limit that. When we get down, you know, in the red zone, we definitely have to have a bend but don't break mentality, and because they're not going to kick a lot of field goals. They're going to go for it on fourth down, so there's going to be opportunities to get off the field without letting them get. We got to make sure that we do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. From last week that I gathered, it was watching the playoff games that I was able to go and be a part of and watch, and even in the game that you guys had and then the game that Bay had, I noticed that once they get the ball past the 50-yard line in playoff situations, it seems like everybody is pretty much going to go for it unless they're just like so far away that they can't really do that. And how important is it for the defense to get off the field and give the offense opportunities like that where you can flip the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think just from momentum standpoint, I think there's nothing more demoralizing for an offense to drive the ball 60, 70 yards down the field and come away with no points. And obviously that gives a lot of confidence for the defense. And like you said, in playoff football, you know, teams are willing to risk it because it's a, you know, win or go home mentality. And so, you know, it lends itself to teams being a lot more aggressive. You got to expect that in your game plan. I think it leads a lot more to there being a lot more fakes or, you know, misdirection type things on special teams. So you got to make sure you got all your I's and all your T's crossed when it comes to special teams, and just be, you know, on the lookout for fakes and things like that, because teams are going to do whatever they can that they feel is going to give them the best chance to win the ball game.
Now, Coach, you're on the bus right now. Is that correct?
We are.
How in the world? I mean, you must be the best coach, and they must respect you so much, because I remember when we used to go on trips when I was playing college ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be so loud. Everybody would be so loud. And, man, how do you do that? I mean, do you just tell them to stop talking and they immediately stop talking, Coach?
Well, we're on our sixth here, so they know enough to know how to act and how I expect it to be, you know, while we're riding the bus. But I will say, for whatever reason, like the first hour on the bus and the last hour on the bus is the worst hour. When you get in the middle, everybody kind of gets calmed down, gets, you know, face deep into their phones, and either takes a nap or just, scrolls Instagram or whatever they want. So like right now we're in the middle of the trip. Everybody's nice and quiet, and I'm definitely enjoying it. But, once they start seeing the city lights and start perking up, it'll start getting wild and rowdy again. They're excited to be at the hotel.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Let me ask you this, and I'll let you go here soon. Are you expecting for the Mosley fans to show up? I know that's a far, far drive, but are you expecting some of the Mosley faithful to push through the trip and get over there and support you guys?
I definitely think we'll have a fair contingency of fans that make the trip, but also I think we do a great job with our live stream on YouTube, and we'll have a bunch of fans back in Bay County watching, pulling for us from afar, and. So we're excited about the opportunity that we've put ourselves in this position, and just looking forward to the matchup tomorrow night.
Sounds good. I'm going to keep up with it. I've got someone that's going to be there, and they're gonna do it. So I'm going to try to keep everybody here, that's not watching the live stream and is not there, based at what's going on. But man, we sure are pulling for you guys. I know that all of Bay County is pulling for those Dolphins, and maybe Coach, you ought to put them on speakerphone, and you can let them give us a little shout out here, and we'll turn it up a little bit so the fans can hear it. I don't know if they can hear me right now, but we are pulling for the Mosley Dolphins to bring home the victory, and let's have a big shout out parade for Bay County when y'all get back.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and again, appreciate me having on. Like I said, look forward to tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Stay good, Coach. We'll see you soon.
All right, see you.
Yes, sir. That's a big deal whenever you're taking a 5.5-hour trip to go play football and take you out of your element, but to be able to compartmentalize and still do business as usual, and like you said, they're playing normally on Tommy Oliver Stadium where it's grass. And normally, you're playing on grass, but they're going to be playing on the turf. And,
I'm not a big fan of the turf. I always have. Back in the day, I didn't necessarily have multiple sets of cleats. I had one, and if they didn't work on the turf, you were just slipping and sliding, just kind of, soft step a couple of cuts to make sure you weren't slipping. But, I'm glad that they got to get over to a turf field to kind of get, their feet adjusted to it, especially if they've never played on one. It is a different atmosphere, so I'm glad they got to get over there.
The biggest thing is with turf is that you don't want it to be dewy, if that makes sense, where it has a little bit of wetness to it. And that way there is a lot of slips. But it's going to be at night, so 7:30. Eastern time. So that's another thing too, is that, we'll be keeping everybody abated. We're going to go ahead and take our break. And when we come back, we're going to discuss this college football season. We got some pick'ems to do, and I'm excited about to see who Brandon's going to pick as his toughest game of the week. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Text in now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
On the next episode of Thursday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills are a 5.5-point favorite over the Houston Texans. The Bills are coming off a high-scoring win against the Buccaneers, while the Texans, without quarterback C.J. Stroud, have won 3 of their last 4, primarily due to a top-tier defense. Thursday Night Football coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7:15 on your home for the NFL on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design, build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered. Literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
Looking for the most romantic night out in Panama City? Ferrucci Ristorante is your destination for authentic Italian cuisine and unforgettable moments. The candlelight, the wine, the homemade pasta. It's like a little slice of Italy. From handcrafted sauces to centuries-old recipes, Ferrucci brings true Italian flavor to every plate. It's where love stories begin and anniversaries are celebrated. To reserve your table, call 850-913-9131. Ferrucci Ristorante, Panama City's most romantic escape.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Saturday, it's a college football triple header.
75 yards. Wow.
First, your Miami Hurricanes at Virginia Tech. Coverage starts at 10, kickoff at 11. Then it's Arkansas at Texas, kickoff at 2:30. Plus, the Tennessee Volunteers are in the swamp to take on the Gators. Kickoff at 6:30 right here on your home for college football on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290.
I'm sure that most of you have used a dial telephone before.
The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Come back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your leader in all things sports right here in Panama City Beach. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're live and local right here in the CBC Construction Studio, and we're having a great time. You know, Brandon, we've got some games to go over this weekend, and when you look at it, everybody's looking forward to the rivalry week, which is next week. That's going to be huge.
It will be.
But I will say this. There are some games here this week that if you don't watch it, it could be Stumbleina for the weekend. There's some tough ones. There's one specific game that is playoff indicator for sure.
Yeah.
And if they don't win or whoever wins, they get their foot shored up for making the playoffs unless they have some crazy, loss to a team that they're not supposed to lose to. But either way, I love this week because there are some games that I just feel like are like, man, I don't really know. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
We got Florida State at North Carolina State. Now, Jeffrey picked Florida State to win at North Carolina State. What say you, my friend?
I'd have to agree with old Jeff on this one. Just common opponents looking at the game. I definitely think FSU's definitely more talented. Just which FSU team's going to show up? Do they want it? I mean, they have honestly nothing to play for either. So it's like, is Norvell going to get them to play, or are they going to be the FSU team that has been, bottom of the conference?
Yeah, but North Carolina State, they've looked like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Oh, yeah, they've been good,
great,
and then they've been absolutely hot garbage.
Really bad. So, you wonder if a Friday night game at North Carolina State, I don't know if they're going to black out, white out, red out, whatever out.
This game, I wouldn't say like the tougher ones to pick. I think it's more of like the coin flip ones, one of these ACC games where neither team really has much to play for. It's on a Friday night. Both teams have showed, hints of, greatness.
Yeah.
And both teams have showed that they won't show up if they don't play,
Right.
So it's one of those games, I think, a flip of a coin. Like I said, I picked FSU. I just think they're more talented. And if they come to play, I don't think it should be a problem beating.
Should that save his job?
No.
If they lose, though, should he? If they win out, if they beat Florida at the end of the year, do you think Norvell stays on as head coach?
Are they going to join the rest of the teams that don't have the patience? Do they think there's somebody else out there? Are they going to join the lane sweepstakes? Like, are there options out there? I mean, I'm not sure. He's a coach that, he has won them some games. Last year was, not so great.
Horrible.
Okay.
This year, bad.
So from horrible to bad. So maybe that's a little bit of improvement. I don't necessarily think it doesn't definitely save his, save his season, save his job. I just, what's the lesser of the two evils? You got to start over, start over with new recruits. And, this guy has proven to win some games, but he's also been proven to lose a lot of games.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know. He's been there 6 years. I mean, it's been a long 6 years. It seems like he just got there, but he's been there for 6 years, and you just wonder how much more are the Florida State faithful going to be okay with possibly getting to the last week of the season, not knowing whether or not they're going to be bowl eligible.
Yeah,
I mean, how much of this it's just bowl eligible doesn't matter anymore. It's playoff or bust.
Yeah, to get 6 wins is, it's almost pitiful.
Yes.
It's like a participation trophy.
Right.
Let's go to a bowl game. Here's your yellow ribbon. But Florida State's one of those schools that, like Tennessee and Alabama and some of these other schools just don't have necessarily the patience. We want to win.
Yeah.
It's in our culture. It's in our history. And, so, being there 6 years, having two, pretty bad consecutive years, it wouldn't surprise me if he lost his job. I'm sure at the end of this year, I think his buyout's a lot less. So after this coaching carousel, I don't think Florida State can just hop on with LSU and Florida and be in contention.
No.
I think they'll kind of maybe wait and see where things fall. And kind of, see where it is. Because if they don't have any better options, they may have to stick with them for another year.
And if you think about it, they've already tried this Memphis deal. So Satterfield, being one of the hotter coaches, he's from Memphis. Are you going to go down that road again? Billy Napier didn't work out. Mike Norvell hasn't worked out. I don't know. I think some of those guys are supposed to be where they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And they got into big boy football, and now you see what you get.
Yeah, 100%.
But either way, Missouri and Oklahoma. This game would have been better had Missouri still had their quarterbacks out. They've got a great running game, but they are one-dimensional, and it makes you also wonder whether or not Eli Drinkowitz is going to still be the coach at the end of the season, because his name has been being floated as the LSU main target.
Yeah, he's a hot commodity. I hear his name come up in, practically all of the coaching vacancies. He's been a really good coach, and he's done what he's done with, Missouri, kind of in likes of what Lane's done with Ole Miss. When you're doing it with quote-unquote inferior schools with inferior talent, with less resources, people automatically assume that you're going to come over here to someplace with better talent and more resources, and you're going to do just as good, if not better. The expectation is to do better than what you have done.
Yeah.
So, that is he is a hot candidate. Nonetheless, I've got to go with Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I think they've got a lot to play for.
Yeah.
They're a really good football team, as much as I hate to admit. And I think Mateer is I think he's back. He's playing like he was, several weeks ago. He went through a couple of lull weeks where we're like, is he healed? Is he not? Did he rush back? But he looks pretty good, and as long as he's playing well, I think Oklahoma won't have a problem with Missouri.
I think he's as advertised now. I think he's back. I do agree with that. So Oklahoma for sure. Louisville at SMU, again, talked about SMU having the opportunity to get into the playoff. None of those case scenarios was Louisville, so they're pretty much out. So they're just playing for, pride, if there is any.
I think I picked Louisville in this one. They played some really stout competition. They've got some pretty good wins. I just think they're going to go into SMU and just get that win. I just don't think SMU's got it.
Yeah. Game of the week, USC.
I had 3 of these. Reason I think it's the game of the week is because both teams have playoff ability.
If you win, you're in. If you lose, you're out.
Missouri Oklahoma is a playoff game for Oklahoma. The Kentucky Vandy, that's kind of a playoff game for a play-in game for Vandy. But the USC Oregon game, both these teams, and I think losers out.
Yeah.
And so I've got Oregon. I believe in the Nike money. I believe in Dan Landing. I don't think they're the Oregon of the past. They haven't looked great. Not as athletic, not as explosive, not as many points scored. As the Mariota, as the Bo Nix days, as things like that. That just don't look like it. But Neither has USC. They did have a really good, prolific offense. They've been up and down as well. But going into Oregon, I just believe they're going to win that one.
Whoever has the best defense on the day, I think that's who's going to win that game, because I think both offenses have the ability to score, but whoever's defense is able to make stands and make them punt or turn over the ball on fourth down. So either way, I still picked USC, just so you know.
Oh,
I just felt like maybe Lincoln Riley's going to make a playoff bid this year.
Okay.
Arkansas at Texas.
I've got Texas in this one.
Yeah,
Arkansas's bottom of the conference. I don't think they're absolutely terrible.
Kentucky and Vanderbilt.
I think this is another pretty easy pick. You got one playoff team, one team that's not been so great. So I'm going to go with the Commodores in Nashville. I believe they're going to win this game pretty handily. I think they're going to. Now, this is what I would consider a trap game for Vandy, considering they play Tennessee next week.
Yes.
I know Pavia is so looking. That's what he's been talking trash about all year, since last year, this and that, So only reason I call it a trap game, not because, Kentucky is an extremely stand-up team. It's just because I believe that Vandy could potentially be overlooking them into the Tennessee week, to the rival week.
Yep.
Looking forward to their playoff hopes. So if they lose sight and lose focus of this game, I don't necessarily think, it could be like one of those Kentucky, Texas, like where it's just ugly.
Yeah.
And they may find a way to win at the end. But
they took Texas to overtime. So
they did.
I did go with Vandy as well, but either way. And Mercer, 9-1, taking on the Auburn Tigers. Yeah. Could Auburn be overlooking Mercer, who's 9-1?
No.
Going into the Iron Bowl.
No, the talent, it's not even comparable. I see where Jeff was trying. I believe, but Jeff didn't even pick Mercer, did he?
No, he did not.
So he threw Mercer 9-1 in parentheses like this.
That's right.
So no, I believe it's at Auburn. Auburn's got the talent. Auburn's not great in the SEC, but they're a better team than Mercer. They shouldn't have a problem winning this game. If they do, they've got more problems than we were sitting here thinking about. So
yeah. Well, the next game to me is one of those games. It's going to be a knockdown drag-out. Pitt is going to bring everything they've got. Georgia Tech, they can't look forward. This could knock them out of the playoff. With having Georgia come next week, if they take a loss in the ACC and not make it to the ACC championship, their destiny is probably out. So they've got to play good. Pitt at Georgia Tech, what you got?
I picked Georgia Tech. I believe they have to win it. I believe that they didn't understand maybe how good they were going to maybe be this year, considering they had their last game against Georgia is technically a home game, but they took a big old fat check, and they're playing it in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Right. So they could have played this at their home stadium, had what home field advantage? I don't know, playing Georgia at Georgia Tech, how much of a home field advantage is, because I would assume most of the state are dog fans. But, I think this game means a lot to them. They've got something to play for. I believe they beat Pittsburgh. And you know how nasty that game was between Georgia Tech and Georgia last year.
Yeah.
They're scrappy. They play each other every year. They know each other inside and out. I believe Georgia Tech wins this and goes on to play Georgia pretty tough next week.
Tennessee at Florida.
Ooh, go Vols, baby. I'm picking Tennessee, obviously. Streaks are meant to be broken. I believe this is the best
20 years.
Dude, yeah, longer. 20,
Here we go.
Almost 23.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so long. Dude, if we lose this game, we've got some problems.
Yeah.
We've got to get our head on straight. It'd be awesome. I'm not saying we could salvage the season, but we go on and beat, Florida. We haven't done in Gainesville after 23 years, and go on to beat our in-state rivals and be one of the, probably, if not maybe the best three-loss team in the nation. That's, somewhat of a consolation considering who we've lost to. If Oklahoma, Georgia, and Alabama make the playoffs, we can hold our heads high and say, hey, we competed with those teams. Should have beat one of them. We beat one of those three teams. We're one of the teams in the playoffs. So I don't think that we were that far. The season is a tad lost, but there's a lot to look forward to.
Yep, and we got BYU and Cincinnati.
Again, I'm going with the team who's got some stuff to play for, and that's going to be BYU. I think their quarterback, is he number 42 or 47?
Yeah, 42.
I mean, he is a monster. He's a linebacker playing quarterback. He reminds me of just like a bigger Cam Scatterboo. You just give him the ball, let him run, and, he can sling the ball too. I just think they're a little more talented, especially at the quarterback position. Think they're going to take that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. So either way, we get to do this because of great sponsors. AutoNation Ford in Panama City. If you're in the market for a vehicle, you can go and have them take a look at their inventory and show you what they've got, and then you can make the decision. They've got great deals going on right now. Right now it's Black Friday for the whole month. So they're giving you the Black Friday deals right now. You don't have to wait till the day after Thanksgiving. 730 West 15th Street, right there past the railroad tracks. Tell us what we got on Recommended Collision Center.
Yeah, so Recommended Collision Center is right off Jinx Avenue. We are a collision repair shop. So whether you get into an accident with someone, whether it's your fault, their fault, we can handle and help you with all insurance work. We also offer customer pay options too. Let's say you don't want to get your insurance involved and you just want to pay this out of pocket, or maybe it's not even met up to your deductible. Come by 1329 Jinx Avenue. Come see us at Recommended Collision. You can come in, ask for Brandon. You can ask for Jake. We'll take good care of you. We'll write you an estimate. If you're not sure if you want to go through insurance or not, we'll write you a complimentary estimate just so you can figure it out. We'll help guide you throughout the process. So just come by. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. Questions and estimates are free. So come by, get some advice. Let us look at your vehicle, see if we can help you.
Locally owned, locally operated, and we'll take care of you. Because you know what? If he sees you in the grocery store, he wants to be able to look at you in the eye and know he did you right.
Amen.
That's why you go local.
Amen.
What you got, Brandon?
Well, touchdowns win games, and bets do too. Pick your favorite playmaker to find the end zone in week 12 or 13 on Hard Rock Bet. Tonight, you've got the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. If you're trying to find somebody to find the end zone, James Cook is minus 165 to find the end zone. So, you can put your money where your hopes are. Don't know if you're a Bills fan or whether you're a Texans fan. But, yeah, go place your bets on Hard Rock. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 years or older and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Play wise, my friends.
Yes, sir. Play wise.
It's been a great day. It's been wonderful being in the studio with you, Brandon. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me, man.
It's going to be some good football games for this weekend, and I'm excited to see them because you never know what you're going to get with these games right before the rivalry. That's the big part of all of this. So either way, we appreciate everybody listening today. Go on Facebook, like us, share it. Let your friends know about us. We're trying to give you some great information here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, right after the show, coverage starts at 6:30, 7:15 kickoff. We will see you tomorrow. Wilson out.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Yeah, I gotta give you a thank you because my chips are going up.